Okay, so for our first guest on today's podcast, we have none other than Stonx. Ollie, how are you doing? You all right?
How do? Lovely to see you, Lee. How do, everyone? You all good?
You've got a lovely setup there, Ollie. I always really like your studio setup there. You're doing the streams on. How long did it take you to get all that put together?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I do this all for the Twitch streams. Been in the new house just over a year now, so I think you can dive back onto the Twitch or onto YouTube and see just a plain white wall in the background. And then, yeah, over the couple of months of unpacking all my stuff, I've got all this chucked up, and yeah, looks good. Looks good on the stream. That's all that matters.
It is. A lot of people are using green screen nowadays, and you've gone for the more authentic look, so to speak. And I think it definitely makes a difference. And I love the sign as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Big, bright orange sign. That's what we're all about.
So let's have a chat about where you're from and your background, first of all, Ollie. Let's introduce you to our Dirtbox channel. So tell us a little bit about where you're from.
I've been long time music lover, metalhead, bass player. Originally down from London, playing in a few bands down there. I did kind of like a drum and bass metal thing for a few years, touring with like electric drum kits and that kind of stuff. And then started up the Stonx project in 2020. And now it's grown into be a whole label, a whole community. We've got people in our Discord that are all, Eat Brain, Hands and Music. And it's just a bunch of awesome producers hanging out, chatting shit, and yeah, loving neurofunk. Basically, always been long time drum and bass lover. Dark, lime wax, current value, noisier, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, finally 2020 put my head down, started this project with a friend of mine who unfortunately he's moved off the project now onto some other life things. But yeah, we're just putting our heads down and trying to cram this drum and bass thing.
So you covered a lot there. Let's unpack some of that, starting obviously with your beginnings. So you obviously came from London. Were you into drum and bass around then? When did you move out of London to, I believe it's Newcastle where you live now, is it?
Yeah, I'm way up north now. I moved last year, 2022. What year is it? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah,
December 22. Yeah, so I was in London for the majority of my life, pretty much. I went to college in Amersham. Yeah, just I moved up this way just because of some family and stuff. So
good stuff. Yeah. It is quite a leap, isn't it? That is a pretty trek, London to Newcastle for sure.
It is. It's beautiful up here, though. I love it.
Yeah, everybody likes a night out in Newcastle as well. It's notorious for that. Do you partake in a few boozy nights in Newcastle, or
not too much? Not too much.
Just working on your studio tan most of the
that's
time.
it.
Then, yeah. So talking about James, obviously the last time we spoke, we had James on the interview as well. We interviewed you over on another podcast. So how is James doing at the moment? I understand he has left the Stonx project just for a little bit, just to work on some mental health and things like that. Is he doing well?
Yeah, that's basically it. January just gone. That's my birthday and his birthday, so we had a nice catch up on the phone. I don't know if any of you guys that do know the Stonx project, you might have seen over Christmas. We had some ugly Christmas neurofunk sweaters.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Came out. I sent him one of them for his Christmas. I don't think it turned up to his birthday though. So yeah, he's doing all right. Cracking on with life stuff and just taking his time for himself. So
good stuff. Happy birthday, James, if you're watching. Love you lots. Hope you're doing well, brother. My friend. So up in Newcastle, it's not very notorious for drum and bass. There has been some big nights over the years, but to your knowledge, is there anything kicking off or brewing up there that could obviously start to get to the masses later on down the year, do you think?
I'm not big in the scene up here. I've been keeping myself to myself pretty much in the studio. I've met a few people around though, and there are some awesome producers up here. We've got Block Data, he's just up the road from us. And then just jump across the border up into Scotland. We got Equals, we got Saboteur. There's some pretty dirty neuro heads up this way. Like most of the UK, the scenes that are around are all kind of jump up. That's what the UK loves at the moment. But there's definitely these underground producers are definitely here, and you know, making waves. Block Data's been doing some great stuff. Equals, it's had its latest single just out on Evolution Chamber. There's some like pretty amazing producers up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if some little things start bubbling up, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Isn't Joe Ford roughly around those parts, or am I going too far up north?
I'm not
sure
too sure
Joe
actually.
Ford was somewhere around there.
I wouldn't be
I'm not too
surprised.
sure. Yeah, so I mean, it's not, neurofunk is definitely not the music you're going to hear on Geordie Shore, the TV show, is it? So it's
No, definitely not.
It's a different kettle of fish. Maybe we should start our own like neurofunk show and get you lot on the show for that.
Love it.
That could be good. Trap you all in a house, just have some neurofunk fun and whatnot.
Love it.
So where did the Stonx name come from? You've told me this before, but I want everybody to know, what is a Stonx and what does he do?
Stonx, well, it's a kind of, it's got two parts. The main thing really was the meme culture. Stonx from you know, stock market, crypto bro, that kind of just like, we're gonna make drum and bass profit. Like Stonx, I don't know, like it was a complete insane idea that we had to like, let's try and make drum and bass and make a living through it, and let's just fucking pursue it, right? Yeah. It's kind of a bit of a Stonx idea, you know. I mean, it's not the most sensible. But we were running through names for like a year of we were making music together, me and James, and just jotting stuff down and just like, would you want to be called that? Do you want to be called this? And Stonx is just one that stuck. It just had that nice kind of short, snappy. It's got an X in it. That's quite hardcore. It's nice to write. And then when we were looking online, we found it was a military slang for like bombardment, and we're like, oh, this is adding up. Stonx is adding up. And it's also just a really nice name that translates into pretty much every language I've heard anyone say it in, which is another thing that just kind of for us was like, we're onto something here. This is the one.
So you've got the Google of neurofunk then, basically. That's a name that translates a lot. It is what it is, isn't it? It doesn't mean anything else. So I suppose that's it. If you're going to use a word, then obviously it's going to start to translate, but I guess that doesn't. I mean, I've seen people use the word Stonx referring with you guys as an actual verb.
Yeah, things are stonked in. We've got all our fans of the Stonxers.
You've been Stonxed.
You've been Stonxed, yeah.
So you've obviously called the label the same name as well. I mean, was that purposely just to keep that name and branding secure across everything? Called the act Stonx, called the label Stonx as well, maybe even an event?
Yeah, I mean, initially our label was never meant to be like, we're going to be the next big neurofunk label. It was just releasing our music. So we thought Stonx music, keep it simple. Then after a couple of years of doing that, I mean, I used to run a label with a few friends of mine, early 2000s metal rock label, kind of like early in the CD baby days, and like, you know, digital distribution. You couldn't just go on DistroKid and away you go. It was a bit more of an ordeal back then. So a couple of years after running Stonx Music, we were meeting more artists and other people that were looking for label releases. And Syndicate was actually the first kind of other artist that we were like, okay, if we want to release you, we want to get you on Beatport and stuff. You know, we were just on DistroKid then, and they didn't have Beatport support. So we were like kind of chatting between ourselves, like, should we do this? Like, we've been doing it for a few years for ourselves. Should we just do it? So now we've released a good few members of our community. I mentioned before our Discord community, and that's kind of how I've been running the label. Really, is just we've got amazing artists in there, and if they want to do a release, it's like, hey, send your stuff around to other labels. But if you just want to get something out there, you know, we can do it. So it was called Stonx Music since the beginning, and it's just kind of stuck now. So it works.
And a lot of people seem to come across you guys through this Discord community that you've actually set up as well. And I've been on there. I mean, it's amazing. It's obviously got a lot of chit chat, very active. How did this start, and what gave you the idea to do that, and try and lead us up to where it's at today and what it's doing for you as a brand?
Really, it was 2020. 2020 saw a lot of people off of work, a lot more studio time, a lot of people jumping into Ableton in their favorite DAW, and the Facebook communities and stuff were where a lot of people were ending up, and they're pretty damn toxic, man. I mean, drum and bass has always had this kind of gatekeeper attitude. You know, early 2000s, it was really hard for me to kind of get into a lot of the production stuff. but then not just in drum and bass, in all genres. Facebook groups, they were kind of like not necessarily gatekeeping, but just violent, abusive places when someone was just trying to figure out how to install an EQ or something that they got. So that's how it kind of started. I was just I was making YouTube videos at the time, reading the Ableton manual, and I was just kind of picking up the pieces of these ruined people who were being screamed at, just trying to do some production. So we made it a gates open community where it's just ask whatever questions you want, and give back as much as you can take. And pretty much it's grown from there to, we've got our feedback channel now with awesome producers on there. I mentioned Syndicate before. He's just had his release on Insomnius, a release on Neurofunk. OMP, they've just had a release on Hands and Music. Profuse is in there. He's had Eat Brain release and got his new Expedite release coming up. We've got some amazing artists in there now.
We've got a
just
visitor.
from having a community that's open and willing to chat, you know.
Who's this?
This is Rue.
Hi, Rue. Hi, Rue.
You right, Rue?
Just wanted to get on camera. She's not camera shy then, no?
Oh, no. Both of the girls, if you watch any of the streams, they love to come and stop the decks and cause all sorts of mayhem. It's good fun.
So we're guaranteed to see a Stonx pussy on every stream then. That's
yes,
quite inviting. Great stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, the Discord community, when I jumped on Discord as a whole, I thought, here we go, here's another dogs on acid for us. It's just going to be loads of forums. But you're right. I think that's the big difference. It's very welcoming, isn't it? It's very positive, which is a change. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with constructive feedback and having a laugh and things like that. But yeah, you know, you don't feel stupid being on there, even with, you know, basic knowledge. I mean, the first time I went on your Discord, I got, you know, 50 people just messaging me and saying hi and things like that. So it is, yeah, it's really good. And how can people actually get to your Discord then, Ollie?
So if you go to chat.stonx.co.uk, chat.stonx, that will give you there's a permanent invite link there. So that should take you straight to it. Easy peasy.
Excellent stuff. So yeah, if you're into your neurofunk, I highly suggest you go and check out the Discord page with the Stonx guys there. And like you said, there's a lot of producers on there, so you get a lot of help as well. Yeah,
and lots of really cool little techniques and things from all different DAWs, Cubase users, Fruity Loop users. It's really nice that we're not just like we're a little Ableton gang, like whatever. It's really nice that everyone's just kind of sharing tips and, oh, well, I didn't know Bitwig could do that, or have you tried this? Have you tried that? Yeah, it's really nice. You're right, Rue. You're just in the way now. It's a really nice community of just people that love to make horrible
I need to tell you, Ollie, all that people are seeing right now is a cat's arsehole, literally.
Oh, darling,
That's what we're seeing.
I mean, if you like cat arseholes, we've got a whole room full of that on the Discord community too. Post all of your lovely animal pictures.
Yeah, I bet nobody expected gaping animal porn when they tuned in for this podcast.
Well, sorry guys, it is Stonx.
So let's move on to the remix. Obviously, one of the main reasons that you're here today is because you have remixed an absolute classic release on Dirtbox Recordings, one by Traced, and it's called The System. So what I wanted to ask you first of all, before we have a listen to it, this is after all the listening party for the album, is when you're remixing a release and deciding if you're going to do it, what are you looking out for if you're going to remix it?
So it's a tricky one. You sent me pretty much the whole back catalogue, a bunch of which I've obviously heard before. Come on, darling. So I just sat and listened through for a couple of days. And it's not anything particular I'm listening out for, just what hooks me, what makes me go, oh, I wish I'd written that. You know, there's that kind of like, oh, I'd have done something with that. And with The System, it was that vocal, that pre-drop vocal just gave me these really nice old Prodigy vibes, that pitched up. I was like, man, I'd fuck with something like that. A bunch of other tunes on there are really good as well, but that one just, I think it's that kind of like, oh, I wish I'd done that. When you hear that kind of, I wish I'd done that, that's a great opportunity to jump in and get on the remix. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely not knocking any remixes here, but you are one of the very few that, thankfully for me, went down the route of not picking something that a vocal in. It seems that a lot of people, when given the choice, they'll remix the vocal stuff, because there's more to work with, isn't there? I get it. It's gonna spawn a lot more ideas than that. So it is a tougher job when you're working on slightly more instrumental stuff. But yeah, I mean, you smashed it out the park, obviously. Very happy with I think it was even V1 or V2 we heard, and we were yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
Straight down with it. So yeah, I mean, for me, it was really good that you did choose something outside of that. I mean, I think I had to stop most people from wanting to remix that Resurgence album because he's got a lot of big vocal party kind of tracks, and everybody's like, yeah, I want to remix that. So I had to kind of slow down. But yeah, you went straight in for the kill and picked the big riffy trace tracks, which yeah, definitely done that track justice. So what I want to do now is we're going to play the track. We're going to play the remix of Yourself. This is the Stonx remix of The System by Traced. Let's go. Right, so literally 2 more questions. That's it. So we'll well, I'll say 3 more because I'll ask you about the remix and what went into it, basically. So, okay, 3, 2. Okay, there it is, the Stonx remix of Traced the System. What an absolute fucking nan slapper. Ollie, tell us a little bit about what went into this, because you got this put together pretty sharpish. So I'm guessing you had a lot of fun remixing this track.
Yeah, I did. I have actually got the voice note I sent you up. Let's hope I can play this over the
yeah, that'd be good.
Over the mic. So yeah, I said before I was just kind of listening through the whole back catalogue, and the vocal of that one really stuck out to me. And after listening to the track on repeat, that vocal was just stuck in my head. And I must have been out, I don't know, doing the shopping or something, going to Sainsbury's. And I just had this going through my head: beat the system, go with the flow, go with the flow. And then I just sung this riff. This riff was just there. So I've got the voice note now. And this pretty much ended up being the final tracks. Let's see if we can hear this. Beat the system, go with the flow, go with the flow. Boom. That was in my head doing the shopping, and I got it recorded, got straight home, dragged all the stems in, dragged that in, and just kind of started figuring out, all right, how am I going to do this?
Ollie, we need a VIP of that.
Just that version, yeah. Well, if you're in the Discord community in any of our feedback streams, you'll know that this is something I do quite a lot. If I'm giving people feedback, sometimes you can be really technical and, like, you know, your hi-hats have a bit too much 600 hertz, do a high pass and maybe reduce some harsh frequencies. And sometimes the feedback's just, you know, this really could just go ping, 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 ping. And I do this a lot on our feedback streams. I'll be like, the wham could just be a bit more. I'm just making mad noises all the time, you know. It's a part of the parcel if you're watching any of our production or feedback streams.
I'm surprised you've not sampled any like classic Jim Carrey comedy, because he does a lot of that with the noises. I'm sure you could make some pretty good.
You're always saying they're going to sample me and just make a sample pack out of all the stupid noises that I make. Go for it.
It'd work. I do like that. I do like the System VIP that you just performed for us live there. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So obviously this project for us, it's the 5th year that the label's been running. We're calling this the 5 years of filth. Obviously a lot of filthy music coming out on Dirtbox this year. There's a lot in the pipeline as well forthcoming from that. But being the 50th release in 5 years, this is a huge milestone for us, Ollie. What does it mean to you to be on a project as mammoth as this?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. It's great. What I've heard so far, we've had the 2 samplers come out. Everyone's absolutely smashed it, which is awesome. And regardless of it being on Dirtbox, doing a remix for Traced is just amazing. He's you know, been smashing it. I've met Dan at a few shows and we get on quite well. So I was really happy to out of all the songs that did jump at me, it was one of the Traced songs. And then obviously, yeah, being a part of your 5th year in the massive release alongside so many other awesome producers, it's awesome. It's really cool. And big ups, guys, for 5 years. It's good. It's great.
Yeah, and it's great to finally get you on the label. I know we were trying to think of ways to do it, but a little bit hush hush. He does have an EP coming out on another one of our labels, so it didn't make sense to just throw out 2 EPs. And I think this is definitely the best introduction for you to Dirtbox, doing the remix. And hey ho, we got an absolute stormer out of it, didn't we, Ollie?
Yeah, it's great track. I've been dropping it in a few sets and it's going down really well. So we love it.
We will indeed. So 2024 for Stonx, what does that look like?
Well, a few things I've got to be hush hush about, but it should be a pretty good year.
Any exclusives you can give us?
If anyone gets that, I got a couple of crosses over my eyes.
You're on a pirate record label. Pirate, is it? No.
There's a pretty big tasty VA that's coming out on a pretty big label. They do a yearly.
Yeah,
I've managed to secure a place on that alongside a couple of awesome producer friends, which is really nice. But I'm stacking up releases at the moment, so we've got that EP that you mentioned a minute ago. We've got a couple of other remixes that are signed onto some other labels, and yeah, just shopping around a bunch of. probably sitting on about 12, 13 whips at the moment. Transformer last year was posting about his 50 track that he managed to finish. And last year, I think I finished 8 tracks last year. So I was like, nah, this isn't, I probably won't hit 50, but I was like, nah, this is inspiring. I've got to do something. So this year, really on that writing push, got quite a lot of tracks in the works right now. So hopefully a big year.
I'm going to pull Neil on this. I mean, how do you this? You know, how do you do that? That's just under a track a week. I mean,
it's bad, isn't it?
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I'm wondering if he already had a load of like bits of ideas and whips and stuff like. I mean,
maybe.
Is he saying it 50 from scratch or not? But yeah, we're on to you, Neil. I'm questioning this one. I'm questioning it because they're all fucking bangers as well.
Yeah, they are as well.
25 of those.
It's not like he's just shit something out. So far, everything's been that top quality that he always puts out. So yes, amazing. But yeah, really inspiring to see that kind of output. And I'm like, oh man, I've got to put my foot down.
Yeah, for sure.
Get some bangers out there. So
yeah, well, we're definitely looking forward to what's coming. Again, Ollie, your VTO EP, the other EPs that you've got coming, a few sneaky little compilations, as you say, and this remix. Go and buy this remix right now. It is available on Beatport and Spotify from the 23rd of Feb, and then everywhere else 2 weeks later. And of course, it will be on a huge 50th release album on April the 5th. Ollie, thank you for your time, mate. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Big ups, everyone. Catch you later.
What's up, everyone? Lee UHF here, the host of Yo DNB Wraps. Thank you for watching our videos. If you like what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to it. Please make sure you thumbs up the videos, and more importantly, let's get some comments going as well. It really helps the channel, and in order for us to provide this content to you, we do need the channel to grow. So we can't do this without your help. Hope you enjoy the video. Speak to you soon.